Meet Ike, a ridiculously overpowered human who's somehow running the Demon Lord's army without anyone realizing he's, well, human. In a world where humans and demons are locked in war, Ike plays both sides like a pro. By day, he's a celebrated hero in the human kingdom. By night, and most of the time, really, he's the demon army's top commander, feared and respected for his magical genius. The catch? No one can know what he really is. With sharp strategy, wild battles, and double agent life, Ike juggles lies, politics, and magic like it's all part of his evil little master plan. Ike might look like your average mask-wearing demon commander, but plot twist's actually a human. Yep, smack dab in the Demon Lord's army, secretly hiding in plain sight. And not just hiding, he's slaying it. Literally. Dude's out here leading successful invasions, blowing up castle walls, and flexing magical skills that put most demons to shame. When the orcs bust through the fortress walls, thanks to some well-placed boom booms by Ike, the human soldiers don't stand a chance. While chaos unfolds below, Ike's chilling upstairs, sipping metaphorical tea with the orc leader, completely unfazed. Because, let's face it, Ike's on the job, the W is practically guaranteed. Inside the castle, one very unlucky knight commander watches his crew get turned into monster kibble, only to turn around and see Ike standing there like the final boss. Ike offers him a choice: surrender peacefully or go out swinging. Naturally, the knight chooses violence bad idea. One spell later, dude's out cold, and Ike's already planning what drapes would look nice in his new castle. But here's the twist. Instead of wiping everyone out like a typical demon would, Ike orders his troops to patch up the wounded humans. Why? Because Ike's playing 4D chess. Dead humans don't pay taxes. And someone's gotta keep the trade flowing, right? Turns out, Ike's being watched through a magical peeping crystal by a sassy witch named Sappho, he's boss, and the only demon who knows he's human. She's impressed and teleports him without warning, as usual, for a quick debrief. Ike's not a fan of the surprise teleporting, but he's used to Sappho's chaos by now. She drops the bomb. The Demon Lord wants to meet him. No one, and I mean no one, meets the Demon Lord casually. Meanwhile, back in his castle, Ike's little secret gets compromised by a maid hiding under his desk. She sees his human face, bonks her head, and passes out. Ike's not thrilled he's hidden his identity for 20 years. And now a clumsy maid might blow it all, but when she wakes up, she swears she'll keep quiet, especially if it means staying alive. Ike makes her his personal maid, sealing the deal with food and survival. Fast forward to the Demon Lord's castle, where Ike is sweating bullets. The guards scan everyone, and he's worried his human vibes will get him busted. But Sappho casts an aura so intense that the guards don't even question it. They practically bow down. Once inside, Ike finally meets the infamous Demon Lord plot twist number 2. She's a woman, and not just any woman. She's sharp, terrifying, and clearly not someone you want to lie to. She senses something off about Ike, but Sappho smooths things over with a quick "Romberg raised him" excuse. Demon Lord Dirk Cutton is impressed by Ike's work and curious about his soft spot for humans. Ike explains that terror can only take you so far. He wants long-term obedience, not short-term fear. Surprisingly, Dirk agrees and tells him she expects more greatness. Then she poofs away, leaving Ike a nervous wreck. Sappho teases him, of course, but also reveals his reward. He's now the new ruler of a border town called Alas, except not really. The place is a wreck. Thanks to Sappho's over-the-top conquest methods, the town's defenses are non-existent, and it'll take 6 months just to rebuild the walls. But Ike's got a plan. Demon-human collab labor crews, 8-hour shifts, 24/7 work, toss in fair wages, and productivity through the roof. His right-hand man, Gen, is floored by the strategy and starts seeing Ike not just as a genius, but potentially the next Demon Lord. The demons? They're vibing right now. They've got the upper hand, and their guide to root is very pleased. But wait, word on the battlefield is the humans are trying to team up with a neighboring kingdom, and if they succeed, it might flip the whole war upside down. So, Big Boss Derek sends our icy boy Ike to investigate. Meanwhile, over in the human kingdom, the famous knight Alisteraka, the White Rose, gets called in to help take back the city of Alas, since losing another stronghold isn't exactly on the to-do list. While this is going down, Ike and his maid Sadi are already snooping around the kingdom. But Sadi? she's a little distracted. She gets caught up in a street scam where she's supposed to guess which cup hides a ball. Only problem, she doesn't have any money because Ike doesn't trust her with cash. The scammer's furious until he notices Sadi and tries to get creepy about alternate payment. But karma hits fast, literally all the cups start floating. And surprise, there was never a ball to begin with. The angry crowd turns on the scammer, and Ike pulls Sadi out of there, reminding her that maids don't get to wander off on solo side quests. Now dressed like a regular old human, Ike and Sadi walk through town and confirm what they feared. Soldiers are out in full force. Yep, the alliance is definitely happening. And that's a huge deal, because, historically, every time humans formed an alliance, the demons got wrecked. Sadi gets nervous, but Ike reminds her their demon army is smarter, stronger, and not going down that easy. Also, he's a little surprised she's worried at all, considering she's technically a prisoner. But Sadi drops some backstory here. Mom was a slave, and humans treated them like trash, so she's not exactly rooting for them either. Their stroll is interrupted by that same scammer, now back with a bodyguard and looking for revenge. Ike's not having it. With a flick of his magic, the big guy's legs freeze, and icicles float menacingly around the scammer. After a quick stabbing demonstration, the guy spills the beans. The human army's moving early, hoping to earn some extra glory before the alliance kicks in. Their likely target? Alas, because it's barely holding together at this point. Back in the demon base, Ike's doing paperwork because even badasses have admin tasks. When Lilith, his overly attached demon admirer, bursts in to ask where he's been. She's not thrilled to find Sadi hanging around and calls her ugly bold move. Sadi, obviously, claps back, and the two start bickering like teenagers over who Ike belongs to. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Alistair's forces are ready to attack Alis, but oop skeletons rise from the ground, and snipers start picking off soldiers. Things go downhill fast. Alistair wisely orders a retreat, but her general doesn't care and throws her in jail for failing. Talk about a tough crowd. Ike wakes up in bed after taking an arrow to the back. Surprise attack. Sappho, another demon girl, claims she saved his life, but she's being suspiciously flirty about it. She drops some intel. No humans died in the battle, which is weird because Ike's not a fan of unnecessary killing, but that kind of mercy might raise some red flags among demon higher-ups. Ike reflects on the ambush and realizes something fishy. He was shot from behind, meaning the attacker was either inside the castle or someone close to him betrayed him. Things just got personal. Later, Sadi and Lilith check on him, and yes, they're still fighting over him. But Jiren, the reliable bro, yeets Lilith out the door to give Ike some peace. Ike asks him to find Alistair, and turns out she's been jailed. Time for a stealth mission. Lilith invites herself along and, unsurprisingly, immediately knocks out the guards before Ike even finishes saying, "No violence." They sneak into the prison, but when they reach Alistair's cell, surprise, it's empty. That's when she ambushes Ike with a knife, thinking he's an enemy. After a quick scuffle, she asks him straight up, is he really a demon? Before Ike can answer, guards show up. She presses the knife to his neck and asks again, this time dead serious. So, here's the deal. Alistair wants answers. Is Ike even human? She's so dead set on finding out. She straight up refuses to leave even when guards are about to throw hands. Ike promises he won't move, and then immediately casts a spell anyway. Plot twist. He freezes the whole squad in place like he hit pause on the world. Then, cool as ever, he strolls up and yeets the guards off the bridge with a wind spell. One sneaky dude tries a surprise mace swing from behind, but Ike dodges and slams the guy into the grate, sending him straight to the underworld. But then, Alistair drops. Luckily, Ike's got fall-breaking magic too. Alistair's baffled. Why would a demon save a human? Ike brushes it off like it's just another Tuesday and properly introduces himself as the commander of the Demon Lord's 7th Army. Yeah, big title energy. Alistair's eyes pop out of her head because now it all clicks. This dude's the general who defended Alis from enemy troops. And if he's that high-ranking in the Demon Army, there's no way he's human. Case closed. Ike then flips the script and questions her about the assassin that came after him. But Alistair? Stone cold. She's loyal to the kingdom and would rather die than snitch. Ike sighs and whips out his mind-reading magic instead. He dives into her thoughts like it's Netflix and gets what he needs. Then Lilith bursts in, sees him flirting with Alistair, and throws a jealous tantrum. Ike's unfazed. He's got the info, no need to linger. As he walks out with Lilith, Alistair yells after him, confused about why he'd break into a prison just to dip. Ike throws her a gem of wisdom. She wasn't behind the assassination, so he's done here. Oh, and also, she shouldn't beat herself up over losing the Aaliyah battle. Just level up and keep it moving. Then Lilith shoots her shot again, suggesting some alone time. But Ike nopes out of there via portal. Back at the mansion, Sadie greets him, and Ike brings out rice. Yep, rice. She's never seen it. Ike says he found it in the capital and it's key to doubling the town's tax revenue. He launches into an economics 101 lecture, talking productivity, fewer farmers, and more food. Sadie's brain lags hard, so Ike dumbs it down. More rice equals more food equals more money. That, she gets. He wants her to cook some rice, but neither of them actually knows how to cook rice. Brilliant plan. Meanwhile, Ike gathers his army to mind scan everyone for traitorous thoughts. Boomone, panicked goblin, stands out. Ike teleports in his face and calls him out. Later, Ike heads to Sappho's castle for advice, but awkwardly shows up while she's mid-bath. She doesn't care, but Ike's like, nope, I'll wait outside. Before he leaves, Sappho casually guesses he has a traitor. Ike's mind is blown. He hadn't told anyone yet. Turns out the goblin spy is Jace, and Sappho's not shocked she'd been sus of him already. Ike wants to deal with it, and Sappho's like, let's make him pay. Back in Alice, Jace hears Ike's up and walking after that assassination attempt, and that the spy's gone silent, big red flags. So he panics and preps his forces to strike first. Too late. Ike shows up at his doorstep. Jace plays nice at first, pretending it's a friendly visit. Ike isn't buying it. They exchange barbs, and Jace finally drops the act and orders his troops to take Ike out. Bad move. Sappho rains down massive magical explosions like it's a boss fight, and Ike has to duck for cover. She went way overboard. Again. As goblins scramble to survive, Sappho unleashes her skeleton army for cleanup duty. Ike appears behind Jace and offers him a choice: surrender now or after everyone's toast. Jace picks the dumb option and orders his guys to keep fighting. Ike wrecks them with wind magic and deflects every sneak attack. Jace runs off course but gets cut off. He escapes through a portal into the forest, thinking he's safe. Surprise! Ike's been tracking him the whole time. Jace throws a knife. Ike laughs. Weak sauce. Ike asks who else is in the rebellion. Jace clams up. Sappho's ready to go full torture mode, but Ike asks to try talking it out. Before they get anywhere, Jace starts turning purple. Poison. His own crew dosed him to keep him quiet. Ike tries an antidote no good. Sappho asks again if he'll spill. Jace finally cracks and spills the names before croaking. With that, Ike and Sappho report to Dirk Kudan. Big bombshell. The rebellion is led by none other than the 3rd Division Commander, Basso. Now it's time to hear what this traitor has to say for himself. So, our boy Basso is out here throwing wild accusations left and right, claiming Sappho and Ike killed Jace just to shut him up, and that Sappho's plotting to swipe the 3rd corpse from him. Classic bad guy move, right? But Sappho is not having it. She's livid. Before things get too messy, the Demon Lord herself, Dirk Kudan, steps in like a disappointed teacher, telling her rowdy kids to chill. She drops a truth bomb. Yeah, demons crave power, it's in their DNA. So she's not punishing anyone just for being ambitious, but she's also no dummy. She knows Basso is spewing lies and Sappho's still loyal, mostly. Still, Sappho kinda dropped the ball with Jace's betrayal, and she's gotta own up to that. Now, according to demon law, both Basso and Sappho should be toast, but Dirk Kudan's not ready to lose 2 of her strongest commanders, so she pulls out a spicy twist they're gonna duel, but not with swords. Nope, it's puppet war time. Each commander gets 50 puppets. The catch? They can't fight themselves. It's a brains over brawn type of showdown. Sappho, ever the strategist, tags Ike in as her champion. He's not thrilled, but he doesn't really get a choice. Command the puppets, or watch Sappho get dusted no pressure. The puppets are evenly matched in strength, so this all boils down to who's the better commander. Ike starts plotting and chatting with his friend Sty, who casually drops a brilliant idea. Use ranged weapons, like a broom. Cute, but Ike's thinking bigger guns. Problem is, they don't have guns, or gunpowder, or bullets. So Ike goes full tech bro and ropes in TFO, their alchemist, to make gunpowder. Sappho, reluctantly, helps with the bullets. With some setbacks and a small explosion later, they finally have a batch of functional firearms ready to arm their puppet army. Duel day arrives and the crowd's buzzing. Basso's smug decked out his puppets in some fancy unbreakable armor gifted by the Demon Lord herself. He thinks he's already won. Ike, on the other hand, kept it simple, just shields. Basso's like, that's it, and mocks him hard. Battle begins. Basso unleashes a barrage of arrows. Ike's puppets hold up their shields, but a few get taken out. Then comes the full frontal assault. Basso's puppets charge like it's Black Friday, and Ike's guarding the last PS5. It's chaos. things look grim for Ike. But then, literally, Ike's puppets whip out the guns and start blasting like it's a demon western. One by one, Basso's armored puppets drop like flies. The crowd loses their minds. Basso's in total disbelief. Big fancy armor didn't stand a chance. When it's all over, Basso's puppets are toast, and Ike's standing tall. Dirk Kuden strolls down like a queen delivering a verdict. She gives Basso two options: take himself out or let her handle it, and spoiler, she won't be gentle. But Basso, being the rat he is, triggers a backup plan. He launches a sneak attack at the Demon Lord with a high-powered explosive arrow. She catches it nice flex, but it explodes anyway, and she's seriously hurt. That's not all. Basso lights up the stands with more explosions, causing total chaos and unleashing an army of undead soul soldiers. He declares himself the new Demon Lord, like a true Saturday morning cartoon villain. Talk about not going out quietly. The chaos kicks off when Bastia lets loose a horde of skeletons inside the stadium, and for some reason, all the ogres forget how to fight. They're just running around like it's a haunted house attraction gone wrong. Bastia, feeling all smug and power-hungry, declares himself the new ruler of the kingdom. Mid-rant, he turns to Ike and offers him a pretty sweet deal. Join him, get a top spot in his army, and command the 7th Corps. But Ike, cool as ever, shuts him down like, nice offer, but too bad you'll never be Demon Lord. Naturally, Bastia doesn't take rejection well. His army charges, but Ike's not sweating it. He whips out a massive wind spell to blow away the skeletons coming for him. More enemies? No problem, he hurls dark spears and takes them all out. One skeleton even sets its own head on fire to use it as a bomb, but it misses and gets obliterated. Ike then yeets himself into the sky with magic, dodging a shower of arrows, and launches a huge spell that nukes a chunk of Bastia's army. Then, in classic boss fight fashion, he dives at Bastia, grabs his face, and explodes him point blank. Done. Or so he thinks. But surprise! Bastia's head rolls out in front of Ike, and his body sneaks up behind him like a budget horror movie villain. More explosions follow, but Ike dodges just in time. Bastia smugly reminds Ike that his soldiers are undead, they regenerate endlessly. Basically, Ike's stuck in a zombie loop with no way out and a rapidly draining mana bar. One skeleton even tries to sneak up during the chaos, but Ike freezes its arm and smashes it like it's made of ice cubes. Ike then slows time with magic and starts bonking every undead soldier with his staff. Even with time frozen, they keep getting back up. It's an infinite respawn nightmare. Bastia gloats that Ike will lose no matter how strong he is because his army literally can't die. Then, while Ike's distracted, a sniper launches an explosive arrow at his back. But Ike, having learned from the last surprise, throws up a magic shield in the nick of time. He survives, but he's drained and running out of tricks. Ike realizes his usual spells are useless against corpses. So, he tries something bold. Holy magic! He purifies the undead army, and Bastia is shook. Before Bastia can retaliate with another sniper attack, Sappho shows up out of nowhere and slices the sniper's arm clean off. Backup has arrived. The 7th Corps is now on the battlefield, kicking undead butt, while Sappho joins Ike inside the stadium. Just as Bastia gets ready to fight Sappho, a chilling voice tells him to back off. This duel is between him and Ike. It's Dirk, looking like she's ready to end Bastia's whole existence. But instead, she gives him one last chance. Beat Ike in a duel and walk away alive. Ike accepts, and they clash. Bastia's sword cracks Ike's shield, and he starts getting cocky, yelling that Ike is weak. But when Bastia fires a dark laser from his head, yes, really, Ike hits back with white magic, decaying Bastia's arm. Sappho is stunned. She didn't even know Ike could use white magic. Flashback time. Turns out Ike once studied under Romberg, a magic teacher who told him white magic was near impossible for demons because it requires compassion. But since Ike is secretly human, he learned it anyway. Carefully. Back to the present. Ike calls Bastia out for being a power-hungry traitor who sacrifices his men and betrays his boss. That's not leadership, it's garbage. Bastia tries one last attack, but Ike finishes him with a glowing white slash to the stomach. Game over. That's the end of the recap. Let us know if you want part 2 by leaving a comment in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to avoid being virgin forever. See you guys in the next video.